Right, so look at, this is what people are saying to you. So when you say to you, what do you do? It's always a bane to say, yes, I do combatives. I say, oh, what's that? And the most retarded reply you'll get is, oh, is that like karate? And now quite often, fast forward a few years, they say, oh, that must be like Krav Maga. If they say, well, it's like Krav Maga, well, they're on the right track in terms of, you know, you use a head, 2 hands and 2 feet to do it. But what you're looking at is, it is an unarmed method of combat, if you like. But in the days when combatives was actually born, there was no such word. It was actually called close combat or close quarter confrontation. And the principles within it come from close quarter battle or CQB. So anything that is devised around any method of physical unarmed combat or armed combat, if you like, that is geared around the 3 principles of surprise, speed and violence of action has the ingredients to be considered combative. But if you look at the word combative in the dictionary, it's there as the word combative, and what it means is the subject was combative. He was argumentative or willing to fight. Or this place can be combative at times, it's very dangerous. The word combatives, plural, doesn't exist because it's a modern word coined by the self-protection fraternity that's come to mean a couple of different things to different people, but generally this. Combatives is considered the employment of any skill, any principle, any tactic, any concept that has proved itself to work under real fight stress conditions. So real fight duress will have adrenaline and fear present. It will have pain, confusion, disorientation and fatigue present. All of those derogatory emotional, physical states will be present during real violence. Then add to that carnage and chaos and very fast time frame where there's no time. That's violence depicted. So anything that's proved itself to work successfully under those conditions is considered pure combatives. If you look at what combatives as a whole is made up of and find the commonality, what you will see is it's a bunch of principle-driven physical responses rather than technical responses. So physical actions that are largely gross motor in action that are conceptual and principle based, and it is totally 100% driven by mentality. So that's what combatives is. So combatives is a bunch of a physical skill set that's proved itself to work under real fight stress conditions, that is governed by principles and driven by mentality. That's what combatives is. That's why combatives is not a style or a system. Because if you call any of that a style or a system, you shut it down, put it in a box and close the lid. It's got no room for growth. So combatives is, in essence, is anything that you make fucking work, for real, against a non-compliant fucker that's trying to stop you. It doesn't matter if it's open hand, closed fist, with a weapon, without, where the fuck it's from. As long as it works, that's combatives. And to be honest, we've gone full circle if you look at martial methods, because it's all Eastern philosophy and influence for the martial arts as a whole. Although if you look before that, Renaissance Europe and obviously early medieval history right through to the first 2 world wars, you'll see that there was many Western methods of combat. Even back to the days of the knight in armour was Western methods of combat that were extremely combative and functional. But if we think of martial methods as a whole, it's the East. We look at the Filipino, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Okinawan and all of this. What's unique now is if you go to such countries such as Thailand or the Philippines, they are actually looking at Western methods as the way.